Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hello crypto friends, hope you're doing fantastic out there. It is Monday, March 12th, 5 p.m. Eastern, and time is starting to be more and more important in this space, as the image in the thumbnail alludes to. Set your watches, because we are definitely seeing patterns out there. And I'm going to be looking at Bitcoin on the log chart. I'm clicking log here because I like this daily downtrend, and it's something I'm just going to keep an eye on. So anytime I want to look at this downtrend, I'm going to flick the switch and put log on and keep an eye on that, because that has hit 3 times. It is a valid downtrend resistance line, and certainly something that we need to be watching. So today we have been, and there's the difference. If you don't click log and then you try and draw this trend line, it does not work the same. It is not as valid. So we have rejected from the daily exponential resistance at this point. And at this point, this daily chart is absolutely a bear flag. And it's not going to confirm unless we dump down to a lower low, breaking 8,370. But it is a bear flag setting up. And we know the odds where we stand right now certainly favor the bears. There's absolutely no doubt about that at this point. So a short-term bounce, and the bounce ended up being pretty solid in the sense that from yesterday into this morning, we saw a 16% bounce. So the bulls absolutely have opportunity to profit on a bounce like that. But just like that, look at this dump. And why did it dump? Good old dump o'clock came back. So we had a member, B-E-T-T-O, Beto, who made this chart for us. And it's a really nice chart that shows the last 7 days and dump o'clock. And it varies slightly. And keep in mind that right now these times are changed because time is an illusion constructed by man, and we have all decided collectively that we are going to say it's a different time as of yesterday. So daylight savings time happened, and the dump started today an hour early, quote unquote hour early to me, and I'm saying, wait a second, this isn't the same time that we're used to. This is an early dump o'clock. And then someone on Twitter reminded me, hey, daylight savings time, and it made a whole lot more sense. So these are the times adjusted for daylight savings times, and you can see how it is a common pattern now where we continually get this follow through. Between 10 a.m. Eastern and I'd say 11:30 a.m. Eastern, that's when the dumps occur. So you can see consistently, the time varies slightly, but we're getting these dumps. There's a couple instances where the dumps did not follow through and the bulls were able to hold on. We had a dump here that was the first time it did not lead to a lower low, and the bulls were able to recover and see continuation. We had another dump last night, or I should say yesterday afternoon, which gave us a brief pullback, and yet again the bulls showed right up and bought that dip up and saved the day. But here again we had extremely healthy hourly consolidation. It was a bull flag setting up. Everything looked great for the bulls. Dump o'clock shows up, we collapse. We have a ton of bear volume come in, and it crashes the price significantly. So heading into tomorrow, again between 10 and 11:15, perhaps 11:30 a.m. Eastern, we're going to be watching every single day now, and so is the entire market. And again, it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where now everybody's looking at this and saying, all right, I'm going to short at this point in time. And that's only magnifying the move to the downside, along with the bulls getting out of their positions because they don't want to be subject to this kind of dump. So this is, in my opinion, I'm not going to speculate as to who this is, Mt. Gox or people trying to drive the price down to accumulate Bitcoin. I'm not going to speculate because, again, my guess is as good as anybody's as to who is doing this. There's one thing that's for sure. It's very coordinated in terms of the time that it occurs, and it is artificially, and I say artificially because we get very used to natural price patterns. An equilibrium pattern is a very natural price pattern in the market. We get used to natural patterns. This is not natural. It's artificial. It's creating a lot of downside bearish pressure. There is no doubt in my mind that as long as this dump o'clock continues to play out, the bulls are going to really struggle to get any kind of traction, and the bears are going to remain in control as long as this is the case. So we have to be keeping an eye on this pattern and how long it continues to play out. Right now on the 4-hour time frame, although we lost our bull flag higher low, we are still holding a support level down here. So 8,516 was the must hold. We just bounced off of 8,780. So that's a new support level. The bulls are trying to form a bullish reversal candlestick on the 4-hour time frame. And if we look at the hourly chart, again, very healthy consolidation. We hit dump a clock. We dump significantly inside bar bear break for another leg down. And the bulls are trying to bounce, but they're nowhere near changing this trend at this point. We look at the 15-minute time frame. It's a lower high, lower low pattern. We had a little equilibrium pattern that broke bearish, and now we're trying to bounce, but anything under 9,245 is just another lower high. Look at the exponential resistances. I keep pointing out the 12 and 26 period exponential on all kinds of time frames. Look at this 15-minute chart where we have rejected now 1, 2, 3 times from the 12 period exponential resistance. And this was in the past too. Look at yesterday and look at what time it occurred. We had the dump. It was dump a clock. And this actually wasn't yesterday. This was, let's see, 3:10. So 2 days ago, dump a clock, rejection, 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 4 rejections before the bounce gets going. So once dump a clock comes around, 15-minute exponential 12 period is driving the price to the downside. And here it is happening again. We'll see if the bulls can get over it for a bounce. Where we stand right now, I'm not doing a whole lot of trading because I have a whole lot going on this week in terms of travel and appointments and things like that. So when that's the case, I don't try and force trades. I know to back off and scale back my trades. So I am personally being very, very picky about any crypto trades. Number one, because the trend is very clearly bearish and the bulls have a losing battle at this point. We're swimming upstream trying to trade bullish. Again, there's opportunity there, but it's short-lived, and we better lock in that profit to not get stuck holding any kind of bags. So I'm not trading anything unless we see hourly RSI, 15-minute RSI, and 5-minute RSI all oversold at the same time. That's my criteria to play a bounce bullish. And if it doesn't happen, I don't play it bullish. It's very easy for me to not feel FOMO or for me to not, second guess myself. It's a very simple strategy. Is this criteria met? Are we oversold on all 3 of these conditions? If the answer is no, there's no trade to be had. If the answer is yes, it's time to start scouting for a trade. So we did just briefly dip down and did get that RSI just below 30 here. And I wasn't able to make that trade. Again, I had an appointment, so I'm not forcing anything. But it is worth noting that we did bounce off 30 the last time. Again, look at dump a clock from 2 days ago. And the RSI bounced off of 30, and we did see a full recovery. So we're not going to rule the bulls out just yet. We just know that they have a lot of work to do. The odds are stacked against them at this point. And as long as dump a clock keeps happening, we are going to not see the bulls get much ground. So let's now look at Litecoin on the 4-hour time frame. Actually, this is the daily to start. So the daily is tightening up. Again, exponential resistance, just like we rejected from Bitcoin today. We've been rejecting here on Litecoin for 3 days. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, we had a clear bear break signal, but it's not game over. So again, we have a 4-hour higher low of 172.30. The bulls are trying for another one here at 175, and the clear bear break was right here. So we had a potential 4-hour bull flag. We came up and formed a double top. As soon as we double topped and then broke 184.02, it's a double top and then a lower low. Very clear exit if you're in short-term positions, and a bearish entry opportunity for a short-term position as well, because we dropped all the way down to 175. So that's a nice $9 drop, about a 4% drop in a short amount of time. So a bearish signal breaking a tightening pattern bearish. So same thing, we're looking to see, can the bulls bounce from here? Can they recover and keep this 4-hour higher low? And if this 4-hour higher low breaks on Litecoin, it's going to be a very clear bear break. And again, for Bitcoin, just going back, if this 4-hour higher low breaks down here at 8,516, it's pretty much a sure thing that we would be headed down to lower lows if that happens. So that's where we stand on Litecoin. Again, trying to bounce. Let's see that 15-minute exponential resistance. We're just getting over it now. So a little bit of a head start. We did reject from it a few times, but the bull's just getting over it right now. And one thing that I want to point out about these dumps and the magnitude of these dumps, my best oversold bounce plays are when we get extreme flushes, straight down, and then a V-shaped recovery. When we get these kind of slow bleeds, and again, I'm going back to Bitcoin, when we get these slow bleeds down where the 5-minute RSI gets oversold and then a very weak bounce attempt to cool it off, the 15-minute, same thing. 15-minute drops to oversold, very weak bounce attempt, still a lower high, cooling it off. That is a setup that tells me I need to be more picky and more patient. And again, that's why I have created my own criteria for looking for an entry, because these 15-minute time frames, time and time again, we're seeing these weak little bounce attempts that cool off the RSI just enough to see another leg to the downside. When we're seeing a free fall oversold bounce, which is the kind I like, there is no weak bounce attempt. Once the bounce gets going, it's V-shaped and it's very clear this is our bounce. So we aren't in that trading environment right now, which is unfortunate because it's very fun to trade. But we have to be careful of these fake outs. Again, an equilibrium pattern on the 15-minute time frame cooled off the RSI from the low 20s, got it up to, just about 40, and then it dumped again because we cooled off that RSI and allowed for more space to the downside. So back to Ethereum, not going to forget it in this video. Very similar daily pattern to Litecoin, tightening up. And if we look at it on the 4-hour time frame, it's the same exact scenario in the sense that we have our 4-hour higher low still here. You could call this a 4-hour higher low, that little bull flag, but it wasn't a must hold because this is the must hold for me, 666. Higher low right now is 678. And again, same thing. Clear bear break at 713. If that level breaks, I want to be out as a short-term bull, and I want to potentially go short-term bearish. So we will drop from 713 down to 678. That is a $35 drop, and even if you only capture some of that move, that's a 3% drop pretty quickly. So bears definitely have the opportunity and the trend in their favor. The bulls are not done yet unless we lose this 4-hour higher low. But as we know, tomorrow's going to roll around in about, let's see how many hours, 12 hours, 17 hours from now, we're going to be watching for the potential that we're going to see another dump. And if we don't see the dump, it is a bullish indication. And just from our chat room, we have, a nice little a group of people that we can survey and just see what the overall market is doing. And many people yesterday, when we didn't see dump o'clock come around, they bought in, taking that as a bullish indicator. And I anticipate that to happen. So that's something to keep an eye on. When it happens, it's going to be very clearly for the bears, and we're going to see follow through to the downside. When it doesn't happen, look for a spike in bull volume shortly thereafter as the bulls recognize it's not happening and anticipate some bullish follow through. So every single day at this time now, it's going to be an interesting observation to be making. I appreciate you watching. That's all we got for now. Continue to do good things out there. Really inspired by our members in the MJ chat room, donating to causes. And it's just, it's fun if you're successfully trading and, you're not needing the income right now. You can say, all right, today I'm going to give all of my gains or half of my gains or whatever, 10% of my gains to this charity or this cause. And it makes it almost fun. It's like a little challenge where, you want to do your best to try and support someone or something else. And that is what we have a couple people doing in the chat room. Had another member donate some food to the local homeless shelter the other day. So really, that's what it's all about in terms of, why I'm motivated to keep doing this and why I'm trying to accrue capital. That's that. Thanks again. See you tomorrow.